I will, to show how unlikely it is for ISIS to attack everyone, I want you to look to your left. Everyone look to your left. Now everyone look to your right. Statistics say that you will more than likely be murdered by those two people than you will be by a terrorist attack by ISIS. Pretty scary, huh? Well, it shouldn't be. Well, after 9/11, also, the NSA has been working non-stop to prevent terrorist attacks. So far, they have stopped over 60 terrorist plots and made sure that Al-Qaeda will never create another attack on U.S. soil. So what says that they won't do the same with ISIS? In school, they tell us not to fight anyone, no matter what they do. This is the same issue with ISIS right now. Now, in the adult world, we can't tell on them, but we can ignore threats. We can go with it or weaken them any other way. Like John F. Kennedy has said before, the basic problems facing the world today are not susceptible by military solution. ISIS is a 21st century terrorist organization that won't be solved by our military. War will prove that the U.S. is wounded and vulnerable to anyone and anything. War will set us back, it will kill our people, and it will spend all of our money and keeps our civilians in constant hysteria against the government. War doesn't solve the problem. It leaves innocent civilians diseased, homeless, and creates future enemies. And it doesn't destroy the ISIS organization. War isn't the answer. War is a problem, and it creates problems to come. We have directly murdered over 150,000 civilians in the war on terror and killed double that amount through the aftermath. After war, the U.S. might not have saved the soul of civilians and communities, but they have lived for over 20, 40 years completely destroyed. Think about coming home to see your house, your school, your neighborhood turned into concrete dust and warped iron poles, and all of this to save you. The war on terror has left 500,000 Iraqi and Afghanistan civilians homeless and living conditions in these third world countries poorer than they were. Children are born with birth defects and have chemical exposure and tainted from chemical exposure and from tainted water. This will make the civilians angry. It will make them mad. Going to war with ISIS will only create more terrorist organizations. It won't stop them. So do not go to war with ISIS. That's my end.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you said not going to war with ISIS will protect the civilians, it will protect our civilians, but they will still always be dying. And so yeah, overall, not going to war is just going to cost us more lives as civilians. And we have to go to war because nothing else is working. We've tried, but it's just not working. Cyber wars aren't working. I mean, yeah, we delete their Twitter accounts, but that's it. I mean, you're not killing people through the internet. And so, sorry, I lost my place. Letting them do what they want and hope that they eventually die won't work. We've done that before in history, like in World War II, before we got pulled in to the war. We just thought Germany would eventually stop, and that's what happened. Germany did not stop. And ISIS isn't a power to be ignored. And if we do ignore it, it can only result in the worst. We were in situations like this before, and it just led to more mass murders. And we are at risk of even more mass murders today. We already have so many allies on our side, so if we were to go to war, it wouldn't be just U.S. troops. And it won't be a hard war to win. But before war, we must go to war. And if we want ISIS to stop committing mass murders, killing innocent people, and all that awful stuff, war is the only solution. Although ISIS is not one country or place, and war over your land would not be... Okay, yeah. So in war, you say war won't work, but, I mean, deleting Twitter accounts isn't going to work either. So, like you said before, you said how we are dealing with ISIS, but then you said that ISIS had doubled in size. So is that dealing with them? They're doubling in size? Because, because if they double in size, I think that means the exact opposite of dealing with ISIS. And going to war is just protecting them more than it's killing them. I mean, yes, if we go to war, some civilians will die, but if we don't go to war, even more civilians will die. So I mean, you just have to like weigh your options. So like, yeah, if we don't go, more will die, but if we do go, they will still die. People die everywhere. I mean, they will. They will die, but not nearly as much would die.
Thank you, gentlemen. That's the end of that debate. Thank you.
Oh.